So I want to start this video by saying that this could be good PvP. It really could, but it feels like there are entire systems that either need to be changed or are even missing that would make it a good PvP experience. Let's talk about PvP, and in my opinion, one of, if not the biggest problem with PvP in this game right now. Now, I just want to say, like, the combat in this game is a lot of fun. I really enjoy killing the mobs in this game. You have lots of mobility, you have lots of different options for how you want to fight, and there is a little bit of buildcraft behind it too. So I've really enjoyed the PvE side of things in Dune Awakening, and I definitely think that I'm going to continue playing the game for that aspect of the game. Now let's talk about PvP. There is a huge critical issue with PvP in Dune Awakening, and I think the example is really well shown in this fight here that I have, and it is that the TTK, or time to kill, is way too high. I'm talking like 10 to 15 minute one-on-ones, and you run out of supplies entirely, and you still cannot kill the other person. I don't even know what to say. And I think a big issue is the fact that, you know, the new stamina system is very forgiving, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you fight the NPCs, the way that it's approached and dealt with is very different. When you're fighting a player, they can just quickly break out of taking a lot of damage from you, and when you have their stamina down, you only have a small window when you can actually hurt them. So if you have two competent players fighting each other and both of them are, you know, actively keeping themselves from dying, you can see in this clip here, I have no healing at all. This fight had already dragged on for like 10 minutes prior to where I'm showing you guys where the fight is now. And it's just that, you know, there's no system in place that allows you to get a proper punish on your opponent. Now, I've definitely been watching a lot of the comments and reading the comments that you guys have left on the Dune videos that I've done about PvP. And the number one thing that I hear is this PvP doesn't look good. And I will say this, it plays a lot better than it looks, but it definitely has some huge holes in it. See here, when he's out of stamina, we get one punish in, and then he's able to get out of it. And there's no, like, good system for us to be able to get back on top of him because of how the stam sustain works in this game. And the second thing that I hear a lot of is that for the genre, this combat is really good. Now, I don't play a lot of Survivor games, but I do play MMOs, and when it comes to the MMO genre, there are much better PvP games out there. So I guess this is a Survivor combat genre opinion for people who have maybe dealt with very one-dimensional combat in these Survivor games. And, you know, someone left a really good comment talking about how there wasn't a lot of depth to combat in this game. Outside of managing your stamina, what else really is there? I mean, it's a really good point. Almost every attack is staggering your opponent, so it's just about stagger chaining your opponent more than anything else, but you can easily dodge out of the stagger chain if you have stamina. And then when you get gassed out, your opponent can beat on you, but unless they land that heavy attack, they will never do any damage through your shield. And here you can see the only way I'm able to deal effective damage against this guy is to pull out my disruptor and just blast the crap out of him. And I think that, you know, he gets out of range and then my bullets can't hit either, and I don't know, it's just like, surviving is too easy. It's too easy to get away. There is no good punishment system. You run out of ammo before you can even kill your opponent. We both had like 1,000 ammo for this fight. He was using the gun mostly at the beginning, then I started using my gun a lot at the end because the sword was just ineffective. And look at how the sword does no damage to my health here, and my health is just auto gonna regen enough that unless he can land 2 or 3 sword heavies in a row, I'm not gonna die. And the same goes for him, you know, unless I can get 2 or 3 sword heavies in a row or just hit him with like 2 full clips from my blaster, we're not going to be able to kill each other. And yeah, not to be a spoiler on how this fight ends or anything, but it doesn't. We just both kind of run out of supplies and decide, all right, we either have to go resupply or just give up on fighting each other now. And I'll be honest, I'm really disappointed because I feel like there are so many cool tools here that you can make a really good PvP game out of. I mean, the combat is definitely better than it was in the beta, don't get me wrong. The beta was pretty rough, but it was still fun. But now that I've had a little bit more time to actually play the game, and especially had a little bit more experience fighting players, I can see some really big holes in the PvP combat in this game. So when it comes to especially the deep desert, that's a big concern because the end game of Dune is supposed to be very PvP focused with that deep desert. Now, I know there's going to be a mix of PvP and PvE in there, but that's one of the big drawing points for this game is the PvP at endgame. And I know that, you know, we're not at endgame yet. We don't have all the tools that we're going to have, but just looking at the passives that I have access to, I'm just going to have more stamina sustain, and it's going to be even harder to kill me than it is right now. And it's already very hard for us to kill each other, and I think, like, okay, let's talk about stuff that could change that would make this a lot better. Number one, melee weapons need to do damage to the shield. I'm talking like reasonable damage to the shield, because look at this. Unless you heavy attack your opponent, it does literally no shield damage, and the heavy attack itself does so little shield damage. You don't really have a good option or a good way to beat through your opponent's shield outside of the slow blade. And I know for the sake of the Dune universe, the slow blade is what they really want, but either make it easier to get into that slow blade, or we need to be able to chip the shield a lot better than we currently can with the heavy attacks and the light attacks from the sword. Now, when it comes to the guns, you can actually break the shield, and here you can see I actually broke the shield and it worked, but of course, he's got the stamina to just dodge all those attacks. It's very hard to get on top of him with the sword when he's dodging like that, and the stam sustain comes back fast enough that we're just not going to be able to really do it. And here's a good example, right? Like, we get one dodge away and he has all of half a second to really put any damage into us before our stam comes back. So yeah, I do like that we can't get stuck in a never-ending stagger chain, because that's never good for PvP, but I feel like we're on the other side of it now with this game, and that's not necessarily good either. So, I'm going to end the video by saying I would really like to see the devs add some systems, change some systems to how combat works in Dune, because they do have something that's really fun here. They have definitely improved upon it, but when it comes to PvP, I'm really worried about how this game will do, especially at endgame. Maybe the fact that it'll be large-scale combat will make the TTK a lot less of an issue. We'll see. But when it comes to something like small scale and 1v1, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I'm terrible at the game. Maybe this guy also had a really hard time just getting any damage or anything like that. I feel like both of us were just making the best moves that we knew to make at the time, and it resulted in neither player being able to die. Have a great night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. And I will still play some Dune, but we'll see if I make a lot more content for it, because I don't think I'm going to be aiming to do a lot of PvP at this moment. So, New World videos are back on the menu, and I'll see you guys next time.